A blessed day, everyone! So, here we are once again with our fifth episode in our institutional orientation. And lastly, for this episode, pag-uusapan natin ang student conduct. Medyo mahaba-haba ito. I would just be mentioning what are the violations that are committed by the student that would make him or her receive an administrative sanction. Tandaan natin that a student must be imbued with moral character. You have to act, live, and think as a person whose values, attitudes, and convictions are in accord with the universal ethical norms of right reason. So, universal yan. You have to be honest. Alam nyo, minsan ang honesty, napakahirap pag-usapan. Minsan, honest ka sa iba, pero honest ka ba sa sarili mo? You have to be honest first with yourself so that you can be honest with others. You have to accept your shortcomings. You have to strive to improve and show that you can actually change. You are fair and just in dealing with your classmates and even your teachers, and you live by the precepts of love, justice, compassion, and concern for others. And ito po yung isa pa sa talaga namang dapat matutunan natin. You respect the right of others as you want your own right to be respected. Huwag kayong magbangayan sa social media. May kanya-kanya kayong mga opinion. You respect each other's opinion, di ba? Another is, as a CvSU student, you have to be imbued with personal discipline. So, you have to devote yourself to the fulfillment of your obligations and consider your rights as means to or rewards to the same. You have to forego the enjoyment of certain rights and privileges. You have to resolve your own problem and conflicts without prejudicing others. Para sa iba kasi, ang solution is to point the fingers to others. Diba? To blame the others. To look for somebody na masisisi natin. And that excuses us from our obligation or accountability na may part din tayo kung bakit nagkakaroon ng problem or conflict. Siguro instinct natin yan, but you have to think of it. Ano nga ba ang role mo kung bakit nagkaroon ng problem or conflict? Diba? You are tolerant of others and also humble to accept what is better. You know how to develop your temperance. Medyo magko-control tayo ng ating mga galit. And also propriety in words and in actions. You allow right reason to guide and control your life, actions, and decisions. Medyo mahirap kapag personal discipline ang ating pinag-uusapan because this talks about your control over your actions. And as mentioned a while ago, so a student shall be subjected to administrative disciplinary action or sanctions if you committed any of the following offenses. Of course, some of these are applicable at this situation that we have right now, but some are not applicable because we are not in our campus. However, we still have our own virtual classroom. We have our virtual showcase of our attitudes. So, maski minsan sa social media ay maaaring masakop, especially if it is part or connected or related to our classroom activities. Okay, number 1, non-wearing of official ID, syempre kapag face-to-face na tayo. Number 2, use of another student's ID or you allowed others to use your ID. Syempre, bawal yan. Pero madaming nangyayaring ganyan, madami tayong cases na ganyan. Hindi kasi makapasok sa campus. So, anong ginawa? Naghanap ng malulusutan ng ID. Hiniram ang ID ng iba. Ayun. So, pareho sila na magkakaroon ng sanction yung nagpahiram at nanghiram. Male students wearing earrings or inappropriate accessories and long hair within the campus, syempre kapag face-to-face na po yan. Meron naman kasi na kahit long hair, pero decent po silang tingnan. Meron naman kasi na talaga naman long hair na nga, parang, naku po, ito ba'y saan pa nagsuot? Hindi mo malaan kung bigla na lang nagbihis. Yan, so, definitely, dapat maayos pa rin naman tayong tingnan, lalo't nasa school po tayo, di ba? Next is unauthorized use of cell phones, texting, messaging during classes. Ayan. So, there are some teachers who allow the use of cell phones, especially if they don't have calculators or there are interactive activities. Pero sa ngayon na tayo ay virtual, definitely cell phones would be our only means for us to communicate with one another. Ang hindi lang nakakatuwa is kapag nasa virtual class na nga kayo, makikita mo ang student gamit ang cellphone. Tapos makakarinig ka ng shouting, nagsistream pala, nag-online game pala. So remember, respect, di ba? Respetuhin mo naman yung oras ng instructor, respetuhin mo ang oras ng mga kaklase mo. You allot your time for your games, for your online games after your classes. Next would be using fictitious name. Isa yan sa mga laging nagiging cause ng conflict din. Okay, assuming si student nag-email kay teacher, nagpasa, may submission, pero anong ginamit na name? Let's say cutie girl 165, di ba? At gmail.com. Hala, do you think the teacher would even dare to look at it? Baka nga nasa spam folder pa yan eh. So do not use fictitious names, especially when communicating with your instructors. Make use of your official email or make use of your official name. And of course, dapat maganda yung pagkaka-email natin. We have some ethics for writing an email to your teachers. Of course, smoking is prohibited in the campus. Cursing, uttering, giving derogatory remarks, and using foul language. Alam nyo, maski sa non-academic po na personnel nyo gawin to, you are still subjected for disciplinary action. Kahit sabihin natin, ma'am, kasi naman po, siya naman po yung naglilinis lang naman ng CR. Ay, hindi po. Everybody inside our campus is our family member. So, walang discrimination dito. The moment you did this kind of offenses, you are subjected to a disciplinary action. Indirect acts such as PDA, indecent exposure of body, and other similar acts are also offensive. Physical imposition of sexual desire against another person, regardless of sex, against the will of the said person, within or outside the campus, or even virtually, diba? And then, again, these are offenses that we are talking about. Attempting sexual intercourse with another person by using force or intimidation within or outside school, possessing, consumption, offering, or selling intoxicating beverages within the campus, fighting, rioting, challenging another person to fight. Yan, mga offensive yung mga yan. Directly or indirectly taking part in any game or scheme. Naalala ko po, once there was a bomb threat. Ang reason is ayaw nang umattend ng klase. Medyo tinatamad. So, dahil may mga kasama siya na mga nagte-text, nagsasabing may threat nga, edi pati sila, damay-damay po sila. So, you don't have to do those things. Remember, minsan lang tayo maging estudyante. Pag kayo ay nagtatrabaho na, sabihin nyo, namimiss nyo maging estudyante. So, wag naman yung ganyang laro, wag naman yung ganyan na ang ikakapahamak ng ibang mga estudyante din or ng ibang mga tao. And then, taking the property of another person, syempre, stealing yan. Bawal yan. Maski sa commandments natin, nandyan yan. Or, nakakita ka ng item, pero wala kang intention na ibigay man lang to sa lost and found corner or sa OSAS or sa security officers natin. You had that greediness inside of you na, akin na lang to. May mga ganyan. For example, nag-PE, naiwan yung kanyang bagong sneakers, naka-paper bag yung sneakers niya, naiwan niya lang sa may hagdan. So pagbalik niya, wala na. So yung nakakuha, kinuha lang talaga. Then inuwi na. So nakikita sa CCTV. Of course, subjected for sanctions po yan. And then, forging or unauthorized use of signature of another person. Yan ang isa sa mga talaga namang kailangang makontrol when it comes to dealing with virtual classes also. Virtual tayo ngayon, so may mga e-signatures. Kaya po, very careful din po kami as instructors to give our e-signature. Meron din kaming tinatawag na mechanism within the offices for them to know if that signature really came from us or not. And then number 16, cheating in any test or examination is of course a ground for disciplinary action. Disturbance of peace, katulad na nabanggit ko kanina, unauthorized connecting or disconnecting electric wires or plumbing services, creating passages, climbing or jumping the walls or fences are also prohibited. Hindi namin minsan maintindihan kung anong meron sa mga kable at bigla-bigla na lang gustong putulin ng mga estudyante. Imagine there was an instance at the 4th floor of the new building. Just with a 5-minute gap, si teacher nasa classroom, dinismiss ang klase, maayos ang mga upuan, maayos ang chairs, tables, all electric fans were off, even the lightings were off. So si teacher, nag-water break lang sa faculty or sa department, nag-refill lang po ng water so that she can regain her voice for the next class. Pagbalik niya sa classroom, aba, napakagaling. Putol po ang cords ng electric fan. Ano kayang meron? And you would be thinking, what's the purpose for doing such thing, di ba? So, maaaring may isang estudyante na pagtripan lang, hindi ko alam, siguro sila ay may nasirang electric fan sa bahay, kailangan niya nung socket or yung end of the cord, i-connect niya pag uwi niya sa bahay. But then, who suffered? It's the class who last attended in that classroom. So sila, nag-contribute sila para mapalitan po naman talaga yung cords ng ating electric fan. Remember, college na tayo, di ba? We have to act as adults. Yung ages ninyo ngayon, nasa ano na yan? 19 to 20, di ba? Remember, whatever it is that you show in college is how you are when it comes to your workforce. And then, 19, of course, urinating in other places aside from the comfort room is offensive. This one, giving or attempting to give money, gifts, etc. to persons in authority in consideration of doing an act required by law. Let's say, kailangan nyo ng reprint ng inyong reg form. So, minsan kasi may process lang naman talaga tayong dapat sundin. Pero since you wanted to skip that process, mag-a-attempt ka na mag-bribe ng iba. This would be the so-called pag-asa ng ating bayan, di ba? And then 21, destruction or damage to property within the campus, littering, violation of traffic and other posted signs, possession and consumption of regulated drugs or paraphernalia, offering or selling of regulated drugs. Buti naman po, for how many years naman wala naman pong ganitong cases sa ating university. Unauthorized possession of firearms, bolo, or other deadly weapons in the campus. Actually, etong number 26, meron tayong isang case, but not from our campus. Kumbaga, tumawid siya sa campus natin na meron siyang bit-bit na deadly weapon. It's a good thing that it was actually a weekend. Konti lang yung tao. Kasi pag Sunday, meron nag-ROTC sa campus, kapag Saturday, yung NSTP classes naman. And also some other minor subjects ay kinakonduct kapag weekend. So, yun na nga lang, buti na lang, it's a Sunday. And ayun, na ano naman siya ng ating security. Okay. Unauthorized use of firearms, wala naman tayong kanyang cases. Unauthorized raising of pets, livestock within the campus. But we have one dog in our campus at ayun, pag nakilala niyo yung dog na yon, when we have our face-to-face classes, you will really fall in love with that dog. Para din siyang roving dog yan. Trained na siya na mag-ikot sa campus to check if there are persons left in a classroom. So talaga naman yung ating nag-iisang aso sa school ay kagigiliwan ninyo. And then number 29, hacking, which results to destruction of computer files, programs, or systems. Hindi pa naman po yan ginagawa. Mabuti naman, mababait naman ang ating mga IT and CS students. Failure to abide by amicable settlement. So wala naman talaga tayong mga major cases. Being accused in a criminal case. Okay, so wala naman po tayong ganyan. But then still, remember, prepared pa rin ang ating university that some of these offenses might happen, and they are ready because meron silang naka-set na disciplinary actions. Then unauthorized assembly of more than 5 members, violation of curfew hours, trespassing, serious physical injury, less physical injury, slight physical injury, production, distribution, or safekeeping of sedition or libelous materials or flyers. Wala rin naman po tayong mga ganyan. Plagiarism. Ito po. Number 39, plagiarism. Pag-usapan natin to slightly. Sa totoo lang, pwedeng makasuhan ni instructor ang student for submitting plagiarized na mga outputs. Okay. It is in our handbook na pwede kayo magkaroon ng sanction. Diba? So, that's why in our GNED 5 or in our English courses, we kept on teaching you how to paraphrase or how to properly cite your sources para hindi kayo magkakaroon ng plagiarism. This is also a form of cheating. You're cheating not just your teacher but also yourself. Kasi alam mo, wala kang ginawa, so ang gagawin mo, kokopya ka na lang sa gawa ng iba at aangkinin mo pa. So, ayun, doble pa yung kaso mo doon. Inangkin mo pa, diba? So, plagiarism. Okay, so be mindful. Please don't do that. As what I tell my English students, mas gugustuhin ko pa na barok-barok ang English ninyo as long as it came from your heart. Kesa naman nangopya kayo sa iba, ang gaganda nga ng English, pero nanloko ka, diba? And then 40, fabrication of data. Maaring gumagawa ka ng mga maling data. For example, in your student profile, lalagay nyo po kayo ay taga Dasmariñas, but in reality, you are from Imus. So yan, nagpa-fabricate tayo ng data pag ganyan. Committing administrative offenses while attending graduation ceremonies. So far, no other violations like these were committed. So these are the 41 offenses, and that's it. We're actually done with our 5th episode. We discussed the academic policies. We even tried to have some computation so that you will see the absolute grading system. We provided you with a sample academic loading. So nakita nyo, dapat nakatrack po talaga tayo from 1st year up to 4th year. Pwede tayong humingi ng checklist sa ating registration advisor. Class attendance, we were reminded of our attendance in our classes. So, meron lang tayong 18. 18 na nga lang ang ibibigay natin kay teacher. Tapos mag-a-absent pa tayo, di ba? So, dapat avoid natin yun so that we will have better attendance and we will learn more than miss more, di ba? Yun ang mas importante. Mas marami kang matutunan kaysa mas marami kang nami-miss out. And lastly, student conduct. We were reminded for today's episode that as CvSU students, we are imbued with moral, character, and also personal discipline. I hope you learned something today because our objective is for you to, you can see it here, be oriented with the general academic rules and regulations such as these 3 that you see on your screen right now. So I hope this was a fruitful episode for you. Just don't forget to subscribe so that you will always be reminded of our succeeding lessons or lectures for our institutional orientation. So ayun po, ako po uli si Abigail at maraming salamat po sa pakikinig sa akin. Paalam!